And welcome back inside the Sports Hour. I hope your morning's going well. It's Monday morning. It's the day after the big Week 2 NFL action. The fourth down conversion by Lamar Jackson is the talk of the town today. As I mentioned, the Ravens beating the Chiefs last night, and by the score of 36-35. But I guess there was a conversation about whether or not to go for it on fourth down. Lamar Jackson said to his coach, Harbaugh, let's go for it. And he did. And he did. And he did it. And that's why, as I mentioned earlier, you will see Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in the running many years down the road here. That these two are the rising stars of the AFC right now, and should be fun to see because they're very young too, very fun to see. But I want to get to baseball because I did something very fun yesterday. I got to go to Yankee Stadium in the afternoon and then the nightcap for the Mets. Now, of the Jets, Mets, and Yankees all playing in New York, you'd think the actual winner yesterday would be the Yankees, wouldn't you? But nope, it was Eddie Diaz closing the door on the Phillies for a save and to salvage the 3-game set against the Phils at Citi Field. But went to the Yankee game to see the Indians final time as the Cleveland Indians. They will be the Guardians next year, but that was the final time in the stadium as the Indians. Then went out to Citi Field with some friends, my girlfriend, and a couple others that all went to same high school and whatnot. It was a great day and a great night. Game wise, Yankees losing 11-1, looking totally lackluster, is worrisome. Okay, Garrett Cole putting up a dud in a very crucial matchup on a Sunday in the Bronx in September in a playoff push is worrisome. Now, he has given it his all this year. Remember that 129-pitch affair where he had beaten the Texas Rangers? Complete game shutout. I think it was a one-hitter. I could be wrong. But what a masterpiece he did that night. And actually, I think that was against Houston. Anyway, what a masterpiece. But here's the deal. Yanks wake up today having lost, 2 in a row to the Indians. They wake up today looking on the inside, looking on the outside, looking in, 1.5 back in the playoff hunt. The Blue Jays were expected to beat the Twins, and they did. Red Sox expected to beat the Orioles, and they swept them. 5 in a row. So, when are the Yankees going to turn the gears on? How is it a bazillion-dollar payroll just cannot beat an Indians team that is 1 game under 500, granted. But they're under 500. They're under 500. Why is that allowable? How is it the Orioles can come into the stadium and win 2 out of 3? See, long night. Sorry about that. 2 out of 3 a couple weeks ago. But now they face the Texas Rangers, who are at 55-94. And I will say this right now. As many fireable offenses as there have been, losing to a team with that record too, I guess even 1 game, but 2 games would be unacceptable. It would be you're I don't know. I would say irresponsible, but a lot of this also doesn't fall on Aaron Boone. The responsibility falls on the players. They're not communicating, they're not fielding, they're not even hitting. I don't think they even really had a runner in scoring position yesterday. The last two games even. And when they do have runners on, they hit the double plays. Something's got to be revamped. Something's got to be changed. The players look lackluster. They really freaking do. And as a New York sports fan, you have to hate seeing that. You have to hate seeing that, and as a baseball fan, that this Yankee team that I had pinned to be at 96 wins could barely get to 90. And I don't care if they have another winning season. They could have 50,000 winning seasons. They're not a playoff contender. And it blows my mind that they're not. When you've got Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo, and these guys aren't contending. Okay, they are. But they're not acting like they're contending. Let's put it that way. They're not putting their best foot forward here. They're going to lose 11-1 to the Indians down a very crucial stretch. Sound off with me. Alex G, NYC1. Alex G, NYC1. Going to have Anthony Fitzgerald on. We're going to know about fall football and adaptive football in Eisenhower Park. See, I want to talk about adaptability too because, as I keep saying, people with disabilities in sports, they deserve to be listened to. They deserve to have fun too. But the Yankees losing 2 out of 3. By the way, first game back on the first series back on this homestand, and that's how you come back losing 2 out of 3. Make it make sense, as someone once told me. Make any of this make sense. All right, and then you have so much on my mind. You have the pitching changes. I mentioned that last night when I was at Citi Field, I noticed Luis Rojas, the Met manager, change out pitchers with 2 outs in the 5th and the 6th. Now, Aaron Loop, who's been a veteran, got the win yesterday. He's 6-0 for the Mets. But I've got to tell you, watching these pitching changes drives me crazy. Rich Hill is doing okay. Down just 2-0, keeping the Mets in the game. You bring in Familia? You bring in Familia? Juris Familia, who struggled? And yet, we're not supposed to boo the Mets because Javi Baez says so. Oh, he's going to thumbs down us. Mets fans should be so scared of that. Mets fans should be worried if that kind of change is happening. But then I felt like I want to look into this more. If you notice a guy being swapped out with 2 outs, don't be alarmed. So there's this thing called the 3-batter minimum in Major League Baseball, where Major League Baseball states that pitchers are required to either face a minimum of 3 batters in an appearance or pitch the end of the half of an inning. If a pitcher faces 1 batter to end an inning, he may be removed. But if he is brought back for the second inning, he must face 2 more batters for a total of 3. So how MLB managers, I guess, are getting around this rule is the 3-batter minimum. Is bringing a guy on with 2 outs to end the inning. It's a waste of an arm because why would you want that? But to bring a guy on to start the inning or even with 1 out, the guy can be taken out if he gives up a bomb, even after facing 2 batters. So I believe the 3-batter minimum has really leashed managers into trying to call this game a little more wiser. Krisky, the Yankee rookie pitcher, 4 wild pitches in 1 appearance. 4! But he couldn't be taken out because of 3-batter minimum. That's BS. That is BS. So to reduce all the craziness that could go down if you cannot remove a guy before 3 batters, you bring him in with 2 outs in an inning and have him end the half inning. Bring him on maybe for 2 more batters in the 6th, but, he did his job. Aaron Loop basically pitched yesterday. I'll give you his pitching line at the moment. Loop pitched an inning and a third, winning it after taking over for Seth Lugo. But the Mets used... no wonder the game took a little longer. They used 6 pitchers yesterday. Rich Hill, 4 2/3. Familia, that 1/3. Trevor May, an inning. Seth Lugo, 2/3 of an inning. Loop, 1 1/3. Diaz gets his 30th save. I can't believe that I'm even saying that right now. He's had some crappy outings. But 30th save for Diaz. Amongst all the craziness. And I have to play this bit eventually, but I was kind of tired of the trumpets bringing in Eddie Diaz. Take a listen to that. Last time the Sports Hour will hear this for Edwin Diaz this season. God, I wish he had a different introduction. Let's see if he pops in the, signaling for a pop-up and it's a home run by the Phillies. I'm not that cynical about Eddie Diaz, but seriously. The hype for this man is crazy. And I'm kind of done with it for 2021. There you go. I wish he had a different introduction next season if he's back. But yes, if you're in a baseball game and you notice an inning and 2/3, 1 out, 2 outs pitching change. That's why. To reduce the risk of a guy coming in with the requirement of 3 batters, needing to face 2 to end an inning even, and blowing it. At least with 1, you have a little more assurance you can get that final out and go to the next inning. But I'm curious to know, and I'll have to do research on this, how many guys have actually done 1/3 of an inning all season long because of the 3-batter minimum. But didn't pick up on this last year because we weren't at the games. We couldn't go. But now that we're back and watching it in person, I'm always picking up the little things in sports, the little details in sports. And that one was kind of an eye-opener last night. But hey, Mets win. Of all the teams in New York yesterday, the Mets win. I could talk to you about the Jets and Zach Wilson and 3 interceptions all the time. Everybody's going to do that today, but no. You got to have different topics to talk about here. That's what a true sports show is. Having different topics to talk about. Hour in and hour out. All right. We'll be back in a little bit with Anthony Fitzgerald. Adaptability in Eisenhower Park in Long Island. Feel free to tune in with that. And we'll be back later after these messages, some songs, and of course, Alicia Keys kicking us off for hour 2 next on the Sports Hour with Alex Garrett. Partnered with Can You Dig Sports and Alex Garrett Podcasting. Talk to you soon.